Welcome to the third episode of Nerd. My name is Junius Jones.
Paul Shooty.
And we're going to talk about some nerd stuff that we care about today. Starting off, anyone heard anything about the upcoming Justice League movies?
I'm excited.
I think it's going to be cool. I love DC Comics. I love Batman, Superman, etc. I mean, granted, I think Marvel's a little more mature.
Really?
I say that because all the DC superheroes, they don't really have like that relatable backstory. You have Superman.
Superman is every man, though.
Until recently, he wore Spanx on the outside of his uniform.
You're saying you don't do that in public?
I'm just saying. But my issue that I'm running into with the whole with the Justice League or whatever they want to call the upcoming movie is they're seriously thinking about using the Dark Knight trilogy as a segue into it, which doesn't work.
As opposed to just like the actual.
They should reboot it. They should pretend that the Justice League movie has nothing to do with Dark Knight, because in the Dark Knight world, this is the Batman where bullets kill people and superpowers aren't possible. Justice League does not work with a realistic Batman, because Justice League means Superman can fly through the air and Wonder Woman has a magic lasso.
But I agree with that. But the reason they have to do it this way is because the Avengers came out. And since the Avengers came out, it's a competitive thing. It always has been between DC and Marvel.
Right. But they shouldn't try to take and jump off of, the Dark Knight trilogy was amazing, so we're going to use it and its sales to try and boost our Justice League sales because we don't trust the franchise to win on its own.
But would you trust the franchise to win on its own?
It's Justice League.
Yeah, but how many superhero movies shouldn't have flopped? Did you see Spider-Man 3?
Okay, this is true. It's just a thing. I don't know. I just feel like they're taking two universes that don't coincide together. It's not possible for them to work together.
That's true. That's entirely true. I agree with you, but I'm excited anyway because Justice League, fuck yeah.
Yeah, indeed. Well, speaking of magic lassos, I played Magic for the first time 2-3 days ago, and I won my first match. It was pretty awesome. Yeah.
Congratulations.
This guy's been playing for about what?
Not really more than 2 years. It's been a while, but
my first time witnessing Magic was probably 10 years ago, lunch table, freshman year of high school, and I swear for the past 10 years I have intentionally ignored all the rules and anything that has been able to be digested as far as this game, just for the sake of not learning how to play it on purpose. And then as soon as I play it, the first day, I'm like, oh wow, I guess this is a new thing that I do all the time now.
Well, that's the way it works. And one of the best things about the game is you get out what you put into it. There is no right amount of money. If you want to be a professional level player who makes it their career, puts in all their time and money into it, it works for you. It's set up so you can do that. But if you just want to play on your kitchen counter or your kitchen table with your friends and just, do whatever, you don't have to put that much money in, and it works perfectly for that. It is designed perfectly for any level of play. And that's one of my favorite things about the game, is I can play with my friends who don't play very often, or I can play with my friends who play constantly. And it's always a challenge, and it's always fun.
Yeah, I lucked out. We were at Brook at this local store.
Go to that place.
He happens to work there, but they're like, hey, we've got free packs of cards you can have. So I got my first 2 decks for free. They're not official decks, but I can play with them. Mm-hmm. I taught my dad how to play yesterday, and I lost his first game.
Because he's better than you at everything.
Something like that. Anyway. But, yeah, I don't know. Anyone who's played Pokemon trading card game, it's like that on steroids. The complexity level was just a bit up there, different things that go on and whatnot. It's cool. I'm a nerd, so I can appreciate it for what it is. If you're not a nerd and you can't appreciate such things, I don't know why you're watching this right now talk to you about random stuff. But anyway, I don't know. The 2014 set.
I mean, every 3 months or so they release a new set, and as they release new sets, older sets rotate out of what we call standard. The core set they will release once a year. It's the basis for what is going to be the next block, which takes place on a specific plane or worlds. And basically, the whole reason behind it is every core set adds it's the easiest place for new players to break into because they don't introduce new rules. So it allows once a year for them to refresh the game so people can come back in, but at the same time, there's still complex cards the higher up you go.
What the 3 cards out of the 2014 set, which 3 do you think are going to be like the biggest game changers, or like the cards that you just need to have?
That's a good question. I mean, if you're looking for money, Scavenging Ooze, which is a reprint from the Commander set, has never been legal in Standard or Modern, is already worth $10-15 and hadn't even come out yet. Archangel of Thune seems to be about $35 right now, and Colonian Hydra all seem to be game-breakingly good. So, there's always that.
And I know nothing about these cards whatsoever. Half the words that just came out of his mouth completely went out the other side of my ear. So,
well, Magic is a whole entire beast. I think if we're ever going to have an actual discussion about Magic, it's going to have to be...
I'm going to have to do some studying.
Yeah, a little bit.
Some time from now.
A little bit more work there, buddy.
Yeah. Anyway, Magic. Speaking of magical things, you like my little cheap segues here. Magic. It's 2013 now. We have smartphones that let us talk to people around the world, and people are just becoming ever so more just enthralled in their technology. People can't get by without picking up their iPhone and checking Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever else is going on.
Speaking of which, there is a photo on Facebook, I'll post it eventually to our Facebook page, of what he's like in real life situations, in case you were curious. Carry on.
So I have an addiction. Shoot me. Smartwatches. Everybody's talking about their smartphones and how it's pretty much the standard nowadays. I actually will be purchasing my first smartwatch here in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
I haven't worn a watch since I was in like 5th grade.
You will soon, though. These smartwatches, it's essentially, you have 2 choices. It can be a standalone product, or apparently, you have the extensions of your Android device. Bluetooth connection, you get notifications on your wrist, so that you don't actually reach in your pocket because it's so far. You can actually see everything on your wrist. Motorola, apparently.
Did anybody ever see the movie WALL-E? Just saying. We're on our way.
Yeah, between our ever-growing...
it's a good movie, though.
Yes, it is. Our ever-growing dependence on technology. I appreciate it. I got my first computer when I was 3 years old. I've been stuck on the computer since I was 3 years old. It's really bad.
Did it
but
have a GUI?
He didn't have a mouse.
my first computer was a Tandy from Radio Shack. 40 megahertz processor.
Did you have to
40 megabyte hard
program it
drive.
yourself?
It came with DOS. I eventually upgraded to Windows 3.1, thank you.
Getting fancy as shit.
Yeah, but Google Project Glass, that's coming to fruition here soon. We've got all these smartwatches and whatnot.
Every time I've been sitting here, I've been thinking, man, if these were Google Glass, this would be a lot more entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Philip DeFranco putting the Scouter decor on your...
That's what they said.
Shut up. Putting the Scouter decor on your Google Project Glass, or Google Glass, whatever you want to call it.
That was pretty cool.
I can't wait to get one. Anyway, we are definitely short on time now. We'll go ahead and I guess we'll call it that. Our discussion on mobile and wearable technology got cut short. Anyway, if you have anything to say to us, you have discussions for something we'll talk about in the future, or you just like to speak your mind, please leave what you have to say in the comments below. Look for us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. My name is Junius Jones.
Paul Chitty, we'll see you later.
Peace.